Concept 2 only makes 4 products, and the 4 products they make are known to be some of the best conditioning pieces in the world. One of those is the Bike Erg. Zebex has come out with a competitor to the Bike Erg, and I've got to say it may be as good, if not better. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews, and today we're comparing 2 very popular conditioning pieces, mainly like one that's been out for a while, and we've got another one that's kind of a competitor to it. But the one I'm specifically talking about, the stalemate, the one that's been here for a while, is this one right here. This is the Concept 2 Bike Erg. Concept 2 is known mostly for their ski erg and their rower. I would say the rower is like the predominant piece that they're known for, the Model D. By far the best rower that's out there. We've reviewed pretty much all of them. You can check the link in the bio right below the like button if you'd like to see all the reviews we've done on rowers. But in my opinion, the Bike Erg is one of their most underrated pieces. I would say that the ski erg is probably my favorite piece they make, but the Bike Erg is probably under that. I actually probably like it better than the rower. But Concept 2 does have competitors, and specifically this one right here. This is the Zebex Fitness Air Plus Cycle. Honestly, I've reviewed quite a few Zebex products, specifically their competitors to the Model D rower, and I've got to say I haven't really been that impressed with any of their offerings. They're always somewhat close in price, but I feel like it's overall been pretty cheap in comparison. However, I will say after using the Air Plus Cycle, this is one of their best, I would say this is the best piece of equipment that I've used from Zebex, and this is the closest competitor I've ever seen to a Concept 2 product. In fact, it's so good, I'd be kind of worried as Concept 2 because this is the first time I've seen a company come out with a product that is as close to something that Concept 2 has done. Let's talk about it. So first is the Concept 2 Bike Erg. The Bike Erg has been around for maybe 4 or 5 years. It was first introduced in the CrossFit Games. Concept 2 is known for making extremely simple products. I've said this before about Concept 2, but they're basically the epitome of that phrase that says, make things as good as you can, or make things as simple as possible, but no simpler. And that's like Concept 2 products. They're simple products that work extremely well, and they don't break down. This is a perfect example. So one of the things that they're using that a lot of other air bikes aren't, is they're using these self-tensioning polygroove belts. The polygroove belts basically make it so you don't have to do any maintenance. So they're tensioning themselves rather than like a chain or something you'd see on like a traditional air bike, like an assault bike. This is something that I've never had to have an issue with. I have taken apart rowers before, and I've had very little issues with those, only after like 1,000,000 miles. This one, despite the amount of time that's been put on it, which has mostly been in this personal training studio, which ranges in people from people that are athletes to, you know, older folks who are just trying to move better. This has performed equally well for both those populations and has yet to provide an issue. Okay, the one thing I will say about this is it's pretty expensive for what it is. It's 990 bucks. It's a light product. For most people up to this point, there really hasn't been much of a reason to get something besides the Concept 2 Bike Erg. It's 990 bucks, works really well, and people are kind of just like, I'll go with that one. That is, I would say, until this one. So the Zebex Air Plus Cycle is a made in China product. The Concept 2 Bike Erg, I believe, is made in China as well. They say it's assembled in the US, but that doesn't mean it's made in the US. But what I've noticed, not only is this a very similar experience, but there's actually some improvements that Zebex / GetRx / whoever is the holding company for Zebex, I don't know, has actually improved upon the Concept 2 rower. So the first one is the monitor. The monitor uses a full color screen that actually is pretty digital and looks way less archaic than something like the PM5. The PM5 and Concept 2's like, you know, whole system for tracking calories and meters and all those sorts of things is very good. In fact, among like conditioning equipment, it's one of the best. However, this screen is a much, I wouldn't say it's better, but it's a better looking, more engaging display than just like the standard 8-bit, you know, monochromatic display that Concept 2 is using. So it's tracking similar metrics. There's some extra stuff in here. in my opinion, I don't think most people use a lot of the extra stuff that they throw in these. I think most people are just looking for a way to display what they're looking for, like distance, calories, and speed in an easy to read format. And this does that. It does it pretty well. I don't know if I'd say it's better than PM5 because the PM5 from Concept 2 is absolutely rock solid and proven. However, it's not like the most engaging display. However, this one I would say is pretty well there. The other thing is this is about double the weight of the Bike Erg. So the model, this one right here, it has magnetic resistance. I don't think you necessarily need that. They've got a $900 model. They're basically trying to compete on price with the Bike Erg. However, this one right here is double the weight, or almost double the weight of the Bike Erg. That means they're using more material in some fashion, yet able to price it at a similar price point. So that tells me, I mean, the product being heavy doesn't mean that it's necessarily a good product, but it also can mean like it's a more solid, more stable, easier like to use if you're really cranking on it type of product. I've never had issues with like side-to-side rocking on the Bike Erg, but after you pick this up and move it, it's definitely way lighter than something like this one, which is, I think, like 96 kilograms or something like that. So close to 180 pounds or so, which is pretty heavy. There's a benefit in that this one is going to be more stable than that one, but the downside is this one's going to be able to move a lot easier. And I believe they're just using a lot more aluminum than they are in this one right here. The other thing is the flywheel. The flywheel on this feels exactly the same as Concept 2's. I wouldn't be surprised if the internals are very similar. This one is a little bit longer, so it's not as compact, but pretty much everything else about it feels like a Concept 2 product. In fact, some of the levers and things they've actually designed after Concept 2. It feels like so similar. I mean, you can tell it's a copycat. Just like there's other products out there, like Titan Fitness has made off Rogue Fitness, or other companies have made after other companies. This is an example of that. This is an exact, or as close to replica as you can get as the Bike Erg. I mean, even come in here, this is like a random like small thing, but these welds right here are smoother and more consistent than what you'd find on like Concept 2. Like this is very minor, but I think it points to maybe something bigger. Like you can see like the lack of smoothness right here on these welds compared to this one right here on the ZebX bike. So ZebX bike, 990 bucks or 900 bucks or so for the basic version. Concept 2 Bike Erg, 990, plus you got to throw in shipping from Rogue or Amazon, wherever you get it. The question is, which one should you get? Well, my opinion, the Bike Erg is the one to beat, right? The Bike Erg's been out, it's been used by crazy amount of people, by great athletes. If you want something proven, Concept 2 is always a good choice. You're never gonna go wrong with them. Their resale value is gonna be great, everything like that. However, I actually wouldn't sit on ZebX. I've never recommended one of their products before. I've always said go with the alternative. However, this is good enough to actually recommend. I don't think I'd recommend it over Concept 2 still. I still think just because Concept 2 is more proven, they're gonna service their warranties, they've just been around longer, I would go with Concept 2. But if that one's out of stock, or you just want something a little bit different, you want the magnetic resistance that can be used here, you want a different screen, something like that, then I don't think it's a bad choice to go with this one. The ZebX Air Plus Cycle it's pretty good. All right, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. What do you think about the Bike Erg? Do you think they should get something like the Bike Erg or like a rower or a ski erg first? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you next time. Peace.